Welcome to my photoreal portraits class. I'll be going over my techniques on gridding, blending, brushes I used, and layer blend modes I use. First of all, I'm going to go over the camera sizes that we use. Any size will work. The higher res is best for printing. More pixels you use in the higher resolution means more pixels in your grid and you get more details in it. The picture you want to use, when you're picking a picture out, you don't want to go with a picture that's too blurry and has kind of bad lighting. You don't want to get something that's too dark. And if you use artificial light in your picture, it's going to give a yellow hue to your skin. So artificial light equals yellow skin. So you want a clear photo with natural light is what's best to use. So the next thing, I'm going to go over the main tools I use to do my portraits. I don't use very many. The soft round brush is here. The brush directly below the soft round brush is the speckle brush. I use that for blending skin tones. Then the next thing I use is blur. I do a lot of blurring to blend those skin tones. And pen is what I use for hair. Sometimes I'll use smudge with the hair, but mainly it's the pen tool. And let me see, where's the pen? The pen that I use is this Mandela flow brush that I use, flow pen. And it's really good for like eyelashes too. I got the line on. It's very good for, eyebrows, hair, and especially eyelashes because it's got that tapered end to it. Anyways, faux blush. Then the layer blend modes that I use mainly is, let's go into one of these. I'll use the overlay and the dodge, and that will be like more like finishing blend modes. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the process of setting up your grid. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go to your layer and color fill. Hold on a second. Alright, sorry about that. So, anyways, you're going to color fill your layer and then go to pixels and then go into settings. Choose the highest size of the pixels and then you're going to put an inset of 3 to 5%. I'll go with 5%. Yeah, she wants to teach. She wants to make me forget what I'm saying. Alright, so anyways, you go to Pixel Tool, set it to 3 to 5% inset, and then put it onto erase. What's wrong, baby? Oh no, are you okay? And then you're going to erase. You're erasing the pixels. And this gives you your grid. You fall down? I'm sorry. Are you okay? Alright. Go watch TV, okay? Go put something fun on. Alright, so once you have all this erased, you'll have your grid. Okay, so you got this grid. You could use just one grid, but since this is about my technique, I use 3 grids. So I'll go in and do this again twice. Now you do this, you could do the inset at 5% for the next layer, but if you go anywhere below the first 2, you're going to have to set the inset higher, because if you don't, it kind of erases the grids. The whole grid just erases itself. So I will make 3 grids, and I'll set them all to different colors. And here's your grid. Then I will go directly below that and image load from my gallery the picture that I'm going to use. And this is Sean P. Sean P, not Chris P. Chris P, huh? That's funny. Anyways, now the grid is way bright. So I like to go in to the different grid layers and reduce the opacity till I could barely see it. And it helps me be able to see what I'm doing. And see the details behind the grid as well. So, and the reason why you do it in different colors is so you don't get confused. So, yay! That is how you set up your picture. Now, let me go back one step. If before you do upload your picture, save a copy of this. The reason why is so you don't have to make the grid over and over and over again. So whenever you want to use that grid again, I label it so I know what it is, and so I don't have any image loads in it beforehand, and I don't have to make it over again. So it's a little shortcut for me. Alright, so now that you have, your picture uploaded, you're going to want to merge them all down to your photo. And then there are two ways you could do this. You could either blow it up on the screen like this and take screenshots of different areas, or you could export as a JPG, save image, and then just transform what you want to work on, and then save it, export it basically to your photo gallery. And you'll do that a bunch depending on what you want to get details in. Export, save image. Export. And then you could check in your gallery. And now that I have, I have rough pics that I could go back to when I'm ready to put details in. Whee! Okay, yeah. And I need my grid. So, okay. Then on the bottom layer of your sketch, actually, hold on. All right. Let's see. Okay. Start a new canvas with the grid that you saved previously, so you can get the, your blank canvas going with no image loads. Then the very bottom layer, I start with a black layer, so I could start. So I could start laying in the color on top of that. So you start laying in colors. You don't really worry about details. You worry about where things are located, where the face is, the outline of the face, noses and stuff. Noses, like you have plural. And again, I'll use my soft round brush. Soft round brush. And you could color pick from your sketch. And when I lay down color, I usually put a 100% opacity on my brush. And, you know, you lay out your colors. You're not, like I said, you're not really going for details. You're just going for where, like, the things are located. Mouth is going to be here, and you follow where the grid is for placement. And I pre-did this one because it does take a long time to do grid. It takes upward of 10+ hours. So, like I said, right now you're just putting in where the nose is, and again, color picking and blending. Once you have all the colors down, you start going in with this brush here, and you start blending the colors, because if you don't blend the colors, it could look really harsh. And when you're putting in details of like the eyes and stuff, you go and get your different ref, your smaller ref. So here's this eye here, and you're gonna notice when you do a lot of these, it gets easier with the anatomy. There's going to be kind of like a shelf on your eyelid, on your bottom eyelid, that's lighter than the rest. The placement of eyelashes and such. Let's see, I'll go to my pen. And if you notice in the picture, in the ref, eyelashes don't start from here. They start at the edge of that lip of the eye. So right here's, I notice a lot of people will try and do eyelashes up here, but it actually starts on this this ledge. So I'm actually going the wrong way on this one, so it will start, and I'm just exaggerating right now. And same thing for this. This is the edge of the top lid, and that's where you're gonna start your eyelashes from. And they do overlap into the eyeball, so you'll see it go lower than the lid. And I personally like to do all of the hair last and on a separate layer. Here's the eyebrow I've started. When you're doing creases, you want to put color down and then blur up to it to get a nice crease. Let's see. Here's the brush. A few layers. Alright. I will use the darker color and then put the lighter color towards it, and then blur that line. And it gives you a nice crease where the eye crease is. Pen right in this area. So for the for anywhere that is hair, there's going to be a darker area underneath the hair. And then I use a lighter color, and sometimes it's a skin tone color, to make the eyebrows themselves with the pen tool. It just makes it pop. It highlights it. And you could go back in with a darker color pen too and put dark hair in there too. And you build it up. Eyebrows don't all go in the same direction either. Hair is very random. It could look like it's going in one direction, but the strokes are very random in that direction. And it's the same with like other hair too, like hair, head hair. Is everybody following along so far?
On this side we can have cabbage, beans, and tomatoes.
Am I going too fast or too slow? Okay.
Here we have the snail. The snail loves cabbage. Here we have the bee. The bee loves
Alright,
flowers.
what did I do? Here. Okay, lip. This is a good thing to go over.
That serves as the darts. Or
Let's see. Did I? Okay, I did. Lips are very, you would think that they're symmetrical, but they're not. They're not always symmetrical. In this case, Sean is, he's got his face tilted to the side a little bit, so it's shorter on this side and longer on this side. And if you notice right here in the picture, it kind of blends out into his chin. Lips. Okay. Another thing is lips have vertical kind of lines that go, you know, up and down. Vertical lines that go up and down on your lips. Kind of like wrinkles. You got wrinkly lips. The lines aren't always black. And I've noticed this a lot, that even on, you know, regular skin tones, they've got red and brown, and it's hardly ever, I hardly use black at all to use as a shadow. If you use black, it kind of makes the skin look dirty instead of darker. And this comes in handy using more of with lips too, because you're going to more of a reddish, a dark red. You choose between like red and orange to make these lines here. And you just, like I said, you go in and you, to make those sharp lines, sharp lines, you blur like crazy. To make those, I use blur a lot. And sometimes the blur can be too harsh, so turn it down. Turn the strength down a bit. but that's what really gets those creases. And you blur on both sides. You put in your vertical lines, and you'll highlight on the lip a lot too. I like using this one a lot. Let's turn the opacity down. Another thing is when you're blending skin tones, turn that opacity down because you don't need much sometimes. And if you ever like can't figure out where something goes and it just doesn't look right, refer to your original reference. Because you could always see where the skin tones need to be blended or where shadow needs to be. I hope I'm not jumping. I jump around a lot when I'm drawing, but once you do this a lot, you could do that without getting confused better. Can everybody hear me still?
Her color looks like light yellow. She has pink color. And let's proceed to our second kitty cat.
Okay. Fine too. Okay. Another thing with eyes, less is more in my opinion. That's basically when it comes to the iris. I don't like putting a lot of details into it because if you put too much in it, it's gonna be it's not really gonna be noticed when you put the blend layer mode on. So. So here we got the beard, to the hair in, the eyebrows, short little. It's most little strokes, random. It's the same as doing. You don't want to go in one direction all the time. Like I said before, I'm not going to be using the right colors, but so I could show you. But you could erase the opacity a little bit. But when you're doing hair, kind of just go in one direction, but make the strokes random. Random. And I think that's like the hardest thing to figure out is how to make things random, because you get in the habit of wanting to just do this, and then it looks fake.
Series 1 to 4.
No, this isn't me. Anyways. I hope it's not me. Did we lose Fleur? Yes, again. Alright, I'll do some of these strokes. But it's really hard to get your brain to just do random sometimes. Because your body will start being like, oh, I'm tired, I'll do this really fast, and then you just get the straight line treatment. So, it's okay.
And this is Brittany. Or Brittany. She's her color is all white, and she has a little tough face with actual golden yellow. She's very pretty.
Let me know when you're ready. Aww. I love you, Glenn, because you're random. But la 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 la. Yeah, your brain likes order, so so random is kind of, it's like scribbling. Your body doesn't really like scribbling and tries to do straight up and down lines, so. But you'll get the hang of it if you do it enough, so. Practice, practice, practice. There's really no trick for ears, just follow the grid. That's all I could say, is follow the grid. Everybody's ears are different, and there's lots of folds and stuff like that. But basically there's really no trick to ears except for follow the grid. Does anybody have any questions so far? Yeah.
It's a sheepdog, and her name is Bailey. She's an old English sheepdog.
Getting hairy.
Today, Bailey. Yellow kitty cat. Good, my favorite kitty cat.
Okay, so here's the layer where I applied the eyelashes, and as you can see, this is where I told you earlier, and then this is the actual inner part of the eye, and here's where the top lid is, and here's where the inner eye is. So and these are just, you know, strokes you put in. When I get to this point, where I'm putting hair on, I usually don't use the grid at all. I usually take down the grid and just start putting in the colors and the details and see if there's anything else that I missed. Hair, I'll show you a cool thing with hair. Bump this up. Brush, soft round brush. This is Glenn's favorite. There we go. Alright, so just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to put, it's not the soft one, I'm going to put a dark layer down for where the hair is going to be. And then I'll use a slightly lighter color and go to my brush, or my pen. And you could go over to make hair. He doesn't have a hairy head, okay, a forehead, but this is just to show you how I do hair. You could use, you know, whatever size pen you want. It doesn't matter really. I like using a thinner one. And once you get some haired in, you get grab a darker color than that, and then go in. And that gives you a realistic looking hair. And for highlight, I'll get a brighter color than that, and then go over where it needs to. So that's how I do hair. You could also go in with a smudge tool and lightly smudge some of this in spots. But you don't have to. But it gives it a softer look if you use the smudge.
Here's the user's manual or instructions.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
2 bags of blocks.
Forehead. Forehead, yeah.
And a train.
Okay, so I'm going to erase all that. Hopefully. Is that the last one? Yeah, that's the one I need to show you guys. Okay. It didn't take me 4 minutes to do, so.
Number 6. Oh.
There we go, okay. Alright, so let's just say that this is the final product because I know it isn't. Yeah. I just know it. I just know. And I don't think I got the other one. Yeah. Alright, so when you're pretty much done with, why isn't this closing? There we go. When you're done with putting all your details in and whatnot, see, not too much detail in the eyes, like I said.
Number 2 is next.
You're gonna make 4 copies of this. So let me
Number 3. 1, 2, 3,
get some of these out of the way.
5, 6.
I'll just use the ones below it.
Next after number 6.
Clear,
8.
clear,
Very
clear.
good. It's number 7.
Okay, so
7.
I'm gonna copy this down 3 times. So there's 4 copies. 1, 2, 3 times. I'm gonna get rid of this one. Get rid of this one.
And shirt with the number 8.
Clear.
We also have
Okay. I'm gonna go to my vector tool and I'm gonna select on. I'm gonna select black. And on the very top layer, or top copy, I'm gonna set it to black. And I will select the layer mode, dodge. The blend layer mode, dodge. The blend layer, dodge. And why isn't it working? Oh, there we go. Got it. It's working. And then I'm going to pick the bottom one and color it as well black. So it will look like this. The reason why I do it black is because if I want to do something different in the background, it's not always going to be, the top layer is not always going to be opaque. So I merge that layer down, and that's going to be like my base final mode. I'll get rid of that. This layer I will set to overlay, and this makes everything pop out. This is my secret technique. And then the reason why I set that one to dodge on that layer is because I could do dodge just on his face and not the background. And I'll go to my soft round brush and very low opacity.
Number 8. And what's next?
Make sure I'm the right one. Dodge on. And then I'll go in and make highlights where it needs to be. and this will help it pop even more.
Green and light blue.
So, you know, he's got the highlights on his nose, on his cheeks, on his forehead. And this, you know, just helps everything pop out a little bit on his ear. Oops. And if you ever, like, do too much, you could always go over and fix it with the black. So that goes from looking like this
Number 10.
to looking like that. And then you
So puppy.
merge it down, and you got your finished piece. Dun, da, da, da. Yay, Sean! Okay, how are we on time?
Making a pretend tree with number 10.
Woohoo! Okay, so now that you got
Or we can also put
just
this here.
the face all together, you could make, you know, a cool background. So here's
Number 9.
with a white background. You could do, you know, an abstract in the background like I did for the original piece, but you know, even just a simple vector background with some gradients, and we'll do like a red color. And grab a brush with some black,
1, 2,
low opacity, and make a shadow behind them.
6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Whee!
There's 2 ways to
You don't want to do it
create
on both sides because, you know, you got to realize where your light source is coming from. So,
You can get this good one.
yay! Thanks, guys, for attending my photorealistic class on portraits. Thanks for watching. Have fun making some amazing portraits. Let's see what you can do.